What is happening? How many people we got? Hi, Claudia.
Woohoo, David!
I got confused. I tried to log in too early and it tried to ask me for a password, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Disregard
yeah.
that email.
You didn't have the password.
I didn't, but I did the old-fashioned trick of turning it off and turning it back on, and voila! All right.
Oh, don't let him in. Don't let him in.
I made a lot of money in IT with that trick.
David.
We were having a password issue, so we're just getting everybody back on with that same trick you just mentioned, David, which is turning.
Oh, everyone had trouble.
But it's so cool. There are 62 of us already here.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of people cut their face, the picture, or they just put their picture on.
And somebody's having an echo there, so you can. There's only one screen that says things out loud. Okay, we are at 68. It is 6:02.
And we'll just get started in a couple minutes. We're just going to give people a minute to just realize what happened with the password thing and and catch our fix, which luckily worked.
Claudia, do you want me to mention the online teaching now? Since
Oh, excellent idea. Go for it.
Okay, everyone. So last year, there's an online teaching conference, and it was held in Anaheim last year, and it's fabulous. It's the most well-organized conference I've ever attended, and they had a 3-day conference, and this year it's free to everyone online, obviously, and it's from June 17th through June 20th. So Kat King sent an email to all DVC employees just maybe less than an hour ago. So you can find it in your inbox and you can register. Again, it's free. It's June 17th through June 20th. It's the online teaching conference. They have both hands-on practical type workshops as well as more pedagogical issues. And I found it really helpful.
Thank you, Roxanne. And anything else? Come on, peeps. You must have something to talk about.
So if you guys are just getting on, we are just waiting a moment for people to access the Confer Zoom. We had a quick, the never-ending trials of Zoom are that sometimes it'll ask you for a password. And so we just refreshed the link and that seemed to work and got most people in, but there were a couple people, especially if you were coming in early, that might still be getting on. So just give us a moment and we'll get everyone together.
Mark, while we're waiting, Mark, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I have a quick question about the online teaching conference this summer. Do you know what time of day? Is it an all-day affair? I have a class that's going on at that time, so I asked.
I looked at the agenda. I can share it with you guys if you guys like. It looks like the days start around 9 and they go until 3, 4 o'clock.
Is it something you could pop in and out of?
Yeah, I believe so. Has anyone done the online format for this before?
But it's probably just going to be an open Zoom with like a password shared to people ahead of time. And they're probably going to have it recorded and hosted on their website as well.
Great. Thank you.
Mark.
I got a question. Great.
Gary?
Yeah. So if we access Zoom through Zoom Confer, we don't need a password because we've already enrolled in the course. We're already authenticated. So I'm not sure what this password discussion's coming from. But can someone clarify that?
No.
You know,
No,
Thank you.
just so you know,
every so often. Oh,
I
go.
use, I'm sorry, and I use Conference Zoom for my 192 class, and it's the only way that I've ever found it foolproof against the password situation, even if you log in early. So I am as dumbfounded by the rest of us why they went for a password through Conference Zoom. But as everyone's mentioning, Zoom is its own little, it wants to be a part of things and be a wild card. So we just kind of have to embrace Zoom until we master it, I guess.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of my experience.
But it didn't ask me for a password, and neither did I expect it to. So but it did for some of you guys.
It was a previous login because we facilitators have been on here since 5:30 or so. And so then as other participants tried to get on, it wouldn't let them. And then we just redid it real quick. Like we instructors can do this, right? We just have a plan B and here we are. All is well.
I wouldn't.
Don't you?
Oh,
sorry. I was gonna say, don't you need a password if you're trying to access the meeting outside of Conference Zoom, like just by going through the link?
No, not necessarily.
We're not providing a link to outside, so that's why everybody goes through Conference Zoom.
I just know I've made, sometimes my students have been kicked out, like it's asked, it's wanted the password too, but I've taught them, I use office hours, I use the Zoom room, so it's just on our thing, and they have just now learned if anybody's having problems, they go to Zoom room, and sometimes I'll hold both of them over and we'll decide which way we're gonna go. And they get to know that that's what our backup plan is, and that's worked out real well.
Yeah, just to echo that, Star and Bruce are both kind of agreeing with you, Kimberly. So that is an option for everyone, is to do the Zoom room. Star is saying that it's never had a problem. Same with Bruce. So check out the chat.
Right, I've never had a problem in Zoom room. I haven't.
Florence has her hand up. Hi, Florence. Oh, can't hear you, Florence. Unmute. Still muted. You can hit Alt A for audio. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I am so new to this. I wanted to ask how you set up the Zoom room, and that also, like I say, I'm totally a novice at all of this, but I haven't had any problem with my students logging in because I get there maybe 10, 15 minutes earlier. I open up the Zoom, and anybody can. I haven't required passwords because I want them to have the ease of access, but I don't know what Zoom room is. Maybe I'm already doing it. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's called your personal meeting room, and that's what they're doing. The only reason some people are doing passwords is that Zoom became so popular with the quarantine across the world that hackers were jumping in. It just happened at CCC that they got Zoom bombed with videos and hacks. Sometimes a password is a way to make it so that it's another level of security, so that doesn't happen.
So one of the things that occurred is that, you know how we have like Zoom 4cd.zoom.us, and then we have Confer Zoom inside of our Canvas instance. So that Canvas Confer Zoom little integration, that LTI, was actually paid for through a like cooperative program with a thing called Tech Connect and the online consortium. So the California community colleges kind of bumped up some money to make that little link available in our Canvas courses so that students wouldn't necessarily have to go outside or have a shareable link that could invite other participants. So the issue is when we try to use that Confer Zoom LTI, sometimes it's a bit glitchy. It is the one that kind of protects from the outside world, but it's also kind of glitchy. Hence why some of us have said, I can't deal with glitchy this semester. I'm just going to use the 4cd.zoom. But you do open yourself and your classroom up unless you set different things for, you know, things like Zoom bombing and things like that. And some people, you know, haven't had any experience. Some people have had several experiences. Sometimes it's human error. Some setting was clicked that shouldn't be clicked. And sometimes it's just the integration error or a new update that we weren't familiar with that changed some settings. So it just happened. Yeah.
And Florence, don't worry, everything might change. Zoom just hired, they just paid like $50 million for they bought a security company, and they're trying to make everything better. So they might use AI by the time fall rolls around, they might use AI to automatically get rid of these spammers. So
AI, by the way, is artificial intelligence.
Right. That I knew that much. I did know. I don't know much, but that I did. And I don't want to interrupt. How do I mute myself now? So that,
you can hit Alt A if you're on Windows.
yeah, I hit Alt A to make my voice heard. So I do just
toggle on off.
Oh, okay. So
cool, huh?
There you go.
Okay, so we'll get started now. Thank you guys. I know there was a little bit of hard time getting in. We're really sorry about that. And it's just part of us going with the flow sometimes with Confer Zoom, and sometimes password settings change and so forth. So one of the quickest workarounds is just to reset the link and then to advise people to go back through that link. So tonight we are really happy to see so many people here. Again, like, we're just astonished by how much time and effort and work you're putting into the course. And so, you know, we're just really impressed and excited for all of our colleges. So with that, we are going to get started with, are we starting with the poll?
Yes, except that the poll is gone, but I have an idea.
Oh, okay. So okay. I'll hand it over to Claudia.
Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. And I also have, well, you can't see that. Okay. So as a little icebreaker warm-up thing, let's go ahead and, using the chat interface, which is at the bottom of your Zoom screen, there is a bubble and it's chat. Please, with one word or maybe two, type in what is your internet break activity. So we're all getting glassy-eyed from staring at the screen all day, right? Grading, talking, Zooming, etc. What is your break activity? Go.
I'm going to pick the best ones for the video recording. I saw pizza, and that's all we need is pizza. A lot of walking. Ooh, Charles said swing. Hey, Charles, I shouted you out on the discussion board about golf club. You're happy, right? The golf courses opened up. Very good.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh yes, yeah. But my state parks are closed, so hiking, I can't do hiking. But you can swing a golf club. That's good. Yeah, happy for you.
Anthony's is yelling at his kid. I can relate. I just blame the 19-month-old. You know, it goes south.
Love that. Ooh, candy, candy.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Star. Woo.
I do like Scandinavian fish too, as candy.
Star is a comm professor, so she waited to the end so she would get noticed. Yeah, everyone's done. Yours.
Luke, I love homemade pasta. Dang. Awesome. Well, that is definitely a feast for the eyes and put a smile on my face. So I hope you're also a little tickled by that. All righty. Next up is we're going to look backwards to the module 1, our week 1. And I'm going to hand it back to Anne, who is going to talk about, you know, what worked, what were speed bumps. Take it away.
Thanks. So Yeah, one of the things that we loved seeing was all of you on the meet and greet. It was really wonderful. You know, I know we are all very nervous entering into the online world. And we, you know, I mean, it might be helpful to have a moment of, you know, mourning for the end of our in-person experience this semester and let it, you know, be put away, and to look at the online space as a different opportunity, one that is not necessarily always comparable to the face-to-face and isn't necessarily even meant to replace the face-to-face. And that, you know, moving forward, it's, you know, I think one of the things I loved about the meet and greets is that people were really excited to jump in and take on the challenge, even if they were nervous and missed the face-to-face, that the online presented a new opportunity. So I think that was really good and really inspiring. The online world's also another place to just meet people in very different ways. I swear in those images, there'll be people I've known for years at DVC and I see them in a totally different way. So, and that's just in a really simple meet and greet. Obviously you can design much fancier meet and greets in your own classes, but just those simple pictures led us into a world that I might never have known. Would you not have taken this class with us? So those are the things we kind of love about the meet and greet. For home pages, I just went through kind of really quickly in the home pages. And so there's just a few that I saw that I wanted to just spotlight, and every so often we'll just spotlight some of the work in the class as doing good things. So I just have a few here, and I might not have time to show them all. And let me share my screen. So this was one, this was Perry Aliado. I hope I pronounced that okay. And I just thought this was really clear course design. I thought I liked the deep green. I liked how clear the intro was, and I liked the front page and the start here button that was framed with the 2 lines. I thought that was just really great and worked really well. I also really liked, we won't have time for all of these, but I'll, you know, hopefully we can show more of these. I loved this one as well. This was Karen Gallardo's. And what I liked about this was just the offsetting of the image. I think sometimes we don't know that we can push the image to the side and have that structure of the instructor, student hours, etc. A quick welcome, the start here button. I thought the look and feel of it was really good. I'm a sucker for thin lines on a page, so I thought this was just really nice design work. And then I just wanted to give a couple other ones. I really liked this. I liked that Servando was trying to gamify his class. I thought that was really exciting. And I liked that he had this kind of laid out as an adventure through math. And so I thought that was really smart. You know, I'm not a gamer, but I appreciate the idea of gamifying a classroom. I think students are really into that sense of like collecting points or mastering a level. And those things are kind of fun. One more I want to show, just a bit more sophistication in this one, was this critical thinking and composition. I really liked how it had the 2 columns down below where it was introducing to the instructor and introducing quick links to modules. So those, again, were just some highlights that I saw in our course. And then Other things to keep in mind with the navigation, we've noticed that sometimes just submitting the URL can be tricky. So just remember that, like, if you're submitting the URL to your course, you can literally just copy and paste the URL at the top and embed that in. We have access, we've been built into your course, so we have access to.
And
Yes.
click on the home page button, please.
Mm-hmm.
And go to the main page, copy that URL.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise some of you are submitting the enroll URL that you received, but what you should do is click on the home link, then copy that URL. And that takes us to the top, and from there we can get to wherever we need to.
Yeah,
Okay?
this is probably the simplest, but we can also, I mean, if you submitted the self-enroll, we can still get into your course. We just re-enroll. But, you know, this is literally the link. You can just copy and paste it. Oh, one thing really quickly that I've noticed, and this might come up when you see some of our homepage feedback, and it's really not a huge deal, just something to go fix very quickly. Sometimes the image doesn't fully appear, and you might not know that. You might see the image on your side, but it's not appearing for us. And one of the ways you can just check that is to use the student view and just make sure that, you know, the image appears in student view as well. There's, for some reason, sometimes the image is not, it falls off in student view, or it falls off when we copy and paste. And it's just kind of random. Sometimes changing the PNG to a JPEG helps, but usually just uploading it again will help.
Anne, can I add to that?
Yeah, sure, Roxanne.
Also, it helps to go ahead and load the app for Canvas onto your phone to see how students will see it from their phone, which can look quite different from a desktop or laptop.
Definitely.
Yes. And since we're talking about images, you want to talk about that one rubric, welcome letter?
Yes. So for the last design assignment from last week is the welcome letter. And one of the things we noticed as we were going back through, we're always revising this course to make it better and to, you know, continuously update it. So one of the things we noticed in our welcome letter is that on this page here, we had taken out, we used to have everyone upload an image to their welcome letter, and we just decided we didn't need that in the welcome letter. You're welcome to leave it there. It's great in a welcome letter, but we didn't need to require it. But when we wrote our rubric, we got everything right, except that we left this one little instance here. So it says here includes an image. So you're gonna see on here, there'll be a correction to that. You'll see underneath it says access to student support service, including DSS, and how they can access technology, including Wi-Fi. This is what should be on there. And this is the thing we would love to see on there. But if you missed this, or you added an image or you didn't add an image, we're not gonna take off points for this. But we want to encourage you to make sure that the campus support and the student support links are given, because that is sort of fundamental for helping the student onboard. So just note that, you know, we somehow left a tiny little piece here in the rubric. So if you want to make any changes and resubmit, or if you submitted and it does or doesn't have an image, we won't take off points for that. That was our error. But just know that one of the things we would love to see in your welcome letter, and that students are really at need for, is just making sure you clarify where the technology support is and the campus support. So again, you'll see that all in the instructions here, but we didn't catch that when we're doing our revisions here. So.
Thank you. All right.
Mark Simons has a question. Go ahead, Mark.
Real quick one. I'm assuming loaner computers are not available now, or are they?
That's a good question. We will find out direct answer for that, but my sense is that they're going to continue to offer that in the summer and in the fall, but I have to find out for each college, it will be likely different as well, given different resources or different IT processes. So I will find out what the intention is for summer.
Anything else, Scott?
No, just in my group, I didn't understand that about the image, so I went back in. If you did have a 0 for that part, I fixed it now, so you're all set.
Someone else has a question. John Matheson?
Hi, it's Matheson, by the way. I want to know, I was asked on my welcome letter to tell students how to get onto Canvas. I don't know, I've never had to do it as a student. Do you just go to the DVC home page and then find Canvas from there, or what is the instruction for students?
Yeah, you can, I mean, there's a number of different ways, and each campus probably has a slightly different place where they put Canvas, but directing them how to find it through the campus website is great. On us, it's on our DVC homepage. They press Canvas, they can get to Canvas. You can go directly through dvc.instructure.com is the direct URL as well. And then included in the example letters, and I think I sent this to you as well, by email, you can use the Canvas Quick Start Guide. That's a district-wide, everyone at the district, it's not, you know, it's for all the colleges, can use that Canvas Quick Start Guide. It just onboards a student on how to find Canvas, log in using Insight, how to set their notifications and profile, and kind of the Canvas basics for getting them started in your course.
Yeah. And I'm just delighted to hear that question, because this is also such a great opportunity for us to actually experience what our students experience, right? So, oh my God, where is this Canvas? How do I get there? You know, just explore it a little bit, almost like a role playing and then some. All right, so for now, the next agenda item is the looking forward part. And for that, I am going to share my screen. And I need to set it up, just bear with me, because I want to have this one up. Can you see that okay? Yes, no, yes, no? Can you see the captions?
Yes, we can.
Excellent, thank you. And I'm gonna move it a little bit higher. Okay. So this is module 2 or week 2, and the overall theme is still about creating instructor presence, creating community, but everything with an equity lens. And this is such a wonderful opportunity for all of us to think about who are our students. And then there is this OSANUS. Have you heard of that? OSANUS, it's a make-believe acronym. It's our students are not us. That means just because we like to learn a certain way, read a certain way, do things a certain way, doesn't mean that everybody is like that. So think of OSANUS. Now, this next module builds on the first one, and that is what's called scaffolding in pedagogy. That means we're starting to create bits and pieces that finally will work together like puzzle pieces, create the puzzle, the whole image. So for example, what we are going to do is we are going to actually complete the whole introductory module that we have set up as empty pages in module 1. So, and lots of the content for that is already there. Now I'm going to place this. This is the design assignment for this week. It has 10 different parts to it. And this is from the instructions, so you're guided along. Now, note, we assume you have a syllabus, or at least, you know, a draft of a syllabus ready to go. The welcome letter, that of course you have already written about how to navigate this course, the course communication. They are all pieces you can pull together either from the work that you have already created or what you see in this course. Remember, there is also always the comments if you want to look things up. Now, I thought it might be interesting for us to spend just a moment to see what it's going to be. Oh, yeah, of course, everything is different. Okay, yeah. For us, as we are looking at your module when we assess it. So this is not our course, but it's basically the same thing. The first thing I'm going to look at is, of course, the number 1 is the syllabus in there. And yes, I will click and open it because that's what we do, right? Whether it's embedded. The welcome letter, that will be right there. Then, of course, is there something about to navigate the course? Is there a course communication plan? And you'll learn a lot about that too. And something that I do, I don't know about my co-facilitators, but I look at these symbols because this particular design assignment is asking for you to have a discussion, a quiz, and all kinds of other pages, content pages here. So you can see that just by looking at the symbols, you can do a quick check yourself on whether you have all those parts and pieces. And I'm going to stop now. Scott, do we have questions?
Sure, yeah. Before keep sharing real quick, Claudia, just a second, because on some of my group, we're having a little unclear about, so when we say our introductory module from the assignment last week, this is what it should look like, exactly what Claudia has there on this course. Everything should be in its own module. So there's only one module for this first introductory module, and then we house everything in there. Whatever you want to put in, you know, we have things in our rubric, but for your courses as well, whatever you want to put in, think of the module like a folder that has everything, and you put those items in there, and it makes it very easy to navigate. And now we have some questions. So I'll defer, Teresa asked about the captioner. So let's talk about that, but really quickly, Masumi asked to talk more about the commons. So the commons, Masumi, and in case you haven't heard of it, lots of us probably haven't. I didn't hear about it before I took this course. The commons are a kind of resource page that has lots of different course design, modules, assignments, web pages, discussion forums that people just publish for free. They're under an open license, some of them, and then you're allowed to take those ideas and then import them into your course. So play around with it. It's quite powerful. I publish a lot of stuff on there for my department so that it's done once and then everyone can import it in, and let us know how you like it.
Yeah, and I also created a couple of short videos showing how to use the commons, and I'll put that up a little higher. We'll figure out a way, right, Anne, how to make sure everybody has access to those videos.
Yes. You can see under module 1 that there is, I think we're in a different, I think we're in someone's course.
Yes. So how to use, I did put that in here. So we have these additional resources.
It's in our, there we are. Yeah, go up and then module 1, where it says building your introductory module. There we go. So if you scroll down to the bottom there, it says design tip using Canvas Commons for resources. So one of the
right there.
Yeah, you can find it there. Claudia put together a couple of videos and a guide. One of the things that we put there was if you wanted to access, you know, people make home pages on Canvas Commons, or, you know, they put there's a lot of stuff on Canvas Commons. The issue is not the lack of, it's the amount of. And so you'll want to do some scrolling because the quality ranges from really cool to not so great.
And what I'll do is I'll add this page to every single one of our modules, so you don't have to jump around a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Really quickly, there's another question in the chat before we move on. Luke asked a great question. He says the resources, he's wondering about the green check marks on the right side, and he's wondering if we have to do anything to make that happen. The answer is no. So the green check mark will automatically happen when you publish something. So you can create things unpublished. As you work on them, you can hit save, you can go back to it, a page, a discussion forum, an assignment. But once you want it to be shown to your students, you want to hit the publish button, and that's when a green check mark will appear. And then you also want to hit the publish button on your module as well. Otherwise, it's going to have a circle with a line through it saying no, which is a cue to you that it's not visible and your students won't see it.
Mm-hmm. And I just pulled up the edit the module settings, which are these 3 dots here, in order to have any kind, we have lots of control over this. We can lock it so that students don't jump in before we're ready. We must all of these or in a specific order, or must complete one of these assignments. So lots and lots of stuff there, and students love it because it keeps them on track. Okay, anything else? Scott?
Just a couple things coming up in the Zoom chat. The question of generic templates. Each college has, you know, if you ask your instructional technology trainer or, you know, DE coordinator or instructional technologist, there are a lot of templates available. They will want to walk you through how to download them effectively. We have not done something from the district level where we preload because each of our resources are really, really different at each college. But yes, that has been on our minds as well. So just reach out and they'll be able to direct you to where some of those templated resources are. We do think it's important to know yourself where to direct the students as well. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention was, you know, our intent with the live captioning. You know, we really want to think about making sure that accessibility is something we're all working towards. Sometimes we might feel like, oh, I don't want to do this, it's a lot of work, but you know, really that's an equity issue and that we want to strive as best as possible to provide. So we're playing around with this idea of the web captioner, and then have requested from our DSS offices to get us live captioning for these sessions, just so that you would know what is available, and that you can see kind of where we're at with online learning. I mean, the cutting edge of online learning is really around accessibility and making all online courses accessible to all students.
Thank you, Anne. And I'm going to stop sharing now, and we are going to think about something that came up. Sorry, I'm bumbling about here in my too many thingies open, as we're prone to do. Okay, so it's time to put your thinking caps on, because we are looking for lively conversations about what we as instructors for online courses now, what we can do in weeks 1 and 2 of our semester, of our course, to reach the most vulnerable and or challenged students. So start thinking about it. And shall we go for the breakout rooms, Anne? We have 20 minutes left.
Yeah, so let's do about 10 minutes of breakout and thinking about what can we do to set our students up.
Okay, you're going to be randomly assigned to a breakout room, and then I'm going to, I am initiating the breakout rooms, and then you will see a button that will invite you to join one. Okay, here we go. Okay, Catherine, yep, you got it.
Yeah. Put me in a different room because I jumped into the same one that Anne was in. So I jumped into room 1 and she's already in there. I can't hear you if you're talking.
I was saying all these important things. Go ahead, try that one.
Okay. Join breakout room. Okay. Scott was in that one.
Your trouble.
So did you find one?
Yep. Hello.
All right, so Claudia,
Yeah.
while everybody is coming back, I just wanted to make sure how you did the breakout room. So if I have a class of 45 people, what does that look like?
Okay, so you can only initiate breakout rooms if you are the host of the Zoom meeting. And then down at the bottom of your screen where you'll find the chat function and the share screen function and stuff, there will be one of those that says breakout rooms.
Okay.
And in the breakout rooms, you can select the number of breakout rooms, and then you have a choice to either have it randomly create, the people put them into those groups, or to manually do it. What we did just now was random.
Oh, okay.
That's it. It's, yeah, just test drive it. Our students are so wonderfully forgiving. If you just tell them, hey, I've never done this before, let's try it, they're all going to root for you.
Oh yeah, they've told me numerous times, Teresa, you aren't sharing your screen. Whoops. Okay.
I have mine who, like, when we start class, they'll type in the chat box, they're like, record please, and I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I've done that one too.
Yes. So we'll have more and more of our course mates come back. And I'm looking forward to reading all the great ideas that you discussed. I hope there are some weird and wild ones too, on top of technology that we, of course, use already. And
do we want to just, in addition to writing out some of them in chat, do we want to just take a couple points from each of the rooms?
Please.
Okay. So, well, our room can start, I guess, or Mario's room. Does Mario's room want to start?
We got interrupted by a bean. So room 8, what did we talk about?
Mario had a great idea of requiring the students to schedule an online chat during office or student hours.
Yeah.
And sign up for them and meet with them one-on-one, and just see how they're doing and check in. And I thought that was a great idea.
Awesome. And then let's see, Daniela, do you want to do our room? Oops, we'll have to unmute you.
Just a couple things or all of them?
You can just give the quick sweep.
Okay, quick sweep. We had sort of like field trips over to the speech tutor check-in, excuse me, a tutor check-in, net tutor. I'm a speech teacher, so I might have them go to the speech tutor actual room to check it out and see what they need to do. We talked about having more explicit communication, more so than in person, because we are online, and a lot of going and finding activities, a welcoming tone, and something I was going to bring up that I didn't when we ran out of time is to sort of require, someone talked about this, require a check-in to see what kind of materials do you have? Do you have a webcam? Do you have a microphone? That kind of thing in advance right away. And I was going to add to that, ask them right away on day 1, week 1, tell me, what are you scared to death about? What do you think you're not going to be able to handle? What do you think you will be able to handle? And just get that all out there from everybody at the start.
Awesome. And then Claudia's room, does someone want to chime in?
Moving on.
Okay. And then let's see, Scott's room, or Scott, whoever, a representative.
Actually, John just asked a great question. are we allowed to ask students to be on camera? That actually came up in our room too. Elizabeth, not to put you on the spot, do you want to share? It was in our room.
I asked the students when they come into the room if they could just put their camera on for a few seconds so I could see their faces. And then after, when we start getting into our conversation, or I'm mainly talking or sharing a PowerPoint, then they can go back. So, and it's really nice because you get to connect because you don't see each other anymore. So.
Yeah, it's great. I love that.
Yeah, and I think in general, you know, asking is definitely okay, and then acknowledging that if there was a reason that they could not be on video or did not want to be on video, that we may have to also respect that decision as well.
Yeah, and that came up. You know, childcare, multiple issues that could come up. So we just want to be. I like the idea, if they can, to pop in, just show their face, to say hi.
And I think that the explaining part that you just mentioned, Elizabeth, is really helpful. Like, why do you want to see their faces? And then many of them may put away their fear over, oh, I don't look good today, or whatever it is, or my house is messy, or whatever. But some may have very genuine reasons, and you know.
Okay, we have time for one more.
Well, so for our group, we talked about how to identify who is at risk and who would be the challenges, just based on the fact that it's very difficult that we're used to seeing them face to face, and we're able to assess the student needs. So the idea was to definitely set up some kind of one-on-one Zoom sessions with students that were not necessarily responding or not available when we try to set more generalized things. And the other idea would be to open our Canvas shells much earlier than our semester starts for fall. So this way we can communicate resources such as DSS and whatever other things are out there, instead of kind of cramming it all right when they start. So if they're stuck or they need one of those things, they'll kind of have a head start, because we can launch our shells prior to the start of our semesters. That's one of the things we talked about.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Leo,
Switching gears.
real quick, I think Leo wanted to share.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Let me make sure oh yeah, just real quickly. I'm sorry for John's not on there because he had a lot of good answers in our group, but getting the students familiarized right away, like who's afraid of using, you know, the question came up, who's afraid of using technology, and he had this thing where he had this analytics where he could see where people were clicking and where they're not clicking, and he started putting all the information where they're clicking because it correlated exactly with their grades. Where they clicked, they got good grades. Where they didn't, they did not. So he sort of baited them with places that they would click, and I thought that was kind of clever. I teach a visual arts classes, you know, and in a way, it's almost, I feel like it's almost mandatory that they have a camera. Otherwise, it's, how do we, you know, other than looking at a static picture, a lot of times I want to see their brushes move. I want to see them in the process, just watch their technique. And see, it's just, so my question is, can I require them to have a webcam to take my class? Can it be a requirement?
So I'll take a little bit of that.
Yeah.
If you do, you have to make sure it's published in the schedule when they take the course, because you can't require them after the fact that they didn't know. You have to let them know.
What if we had said that and it didn't get in the schedule?
I would check with your dean. It could be pretty bad, you know, because we're supposed to advertise to the students everything they need to know to have for the class. So I would be careful with that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have them look at the speech schedules, because we have it written in ours, what we're doing, like whether or not we have synchronous meetings or whether or not they're required. And we also say that they have to have a computer and a camera and internet. So it's all worded, yeah. So it's all worded in there. If you need any, if you want to see how we're doing it, just look at
RTM does too. I mean, I'm not trying to marginalize students, or it's just, it doesn't work if they don't.
Thank you. I'm going to wrap it, and I have good news, and I have even better news. The good news is that we all get to create our own welcome videos this week.
Oh boy.
Yay! And the even better news is that help will be available in actual live versions. Mario? Mario, you want to talk?
Sorry, I was reading the chat. Yes, Wednesday from 6 to 8 o'clock at night, I'm going to be hosting just a kind of a drop-in time for people who are interested in working on creating a video. We'll talk a little bit about some of the tools. It's going to be another version of the homepage hackathon, but this will be just the video hackathon, and we'll see what comes up. For those of you who missed the homepage hackathon, on the modules page in our BEOI class, at the very bottom where we have additional resources, I posted a lot of the material and the videos that were generated for that hackathon, and we'll continue to do the same. All right. Claudia has made some videos that they showed you today. So these are great resources, because I'm sorry, 2 hours is not enough time for you to assimilate all the information we're talking. But if you get some of that information and then have a resource like a how-to video, again, like what Claudia provided, then if you know where that is, you can go get a little refresher before you try to, try to become Quentin Tarantino.
Yes. All right, thank you. And Scott, do you want to do your pitch?
Sure, I'll be doing a more directed one-on-one, because we're all kind of at different levels for technology, especially about making a video. So I'll post information in an announcement. I'll be available tomorrow from 6 to 8, and we'll be able to walk you through, and I'll set up an appointment booker on this thing called Calendly, so that you can reserve your own 15-minute spot. So you can ask all your questions. It'll be one-on-one if you need help.
Thank you, Scott. And I will be hosting those 15-minute one-on-one slots on Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. also. And yes, oh my, yeah.
Sorry. And I didn't get to respond in the text, but I'll do one on Friday morning. It will be a workshop. So I'll just show just really quickly, like how to make a good enough video that shows who you are and welcome students, and they'll appreciate it. And then I'll show you how to do some closed captionings.
Yeah, and then we all get to post our welcome videos on a discussion board, and we each get to watch each other's videos. Oscars at the ready, right?
Do I get to use a double, like for me? It's not me, but like a handsomer version of me. Is that okay?
And you could, somebody had, or was it someone in this class that told me that someone had a virtual background of them opening the door to themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about what I would want.
Be creative.
Short and sweet is great. Students love short videos. I always mess up in the middle of my video and forget something. And most of the time I just roll right through it, make mistakes. It's totally fine. And there's examples online of all different types, including how, shooting from your cell phone too is totally acceptable.
Exactly.
Like Claudia said at the beginning of tonight's Zoom session, this is about the humanizing, right, Claudia?
See.
Mess up in the middle of your video. Let's show them how human you are.
Yes.
Oh, I'm human.
You can all watch my closed captioning video and see how irritated I am during that video.
All right, colleagues and fellow travelers here in this wonderful course. I am just always delighted to see you, to hear you, to read your comments. And it's going to be another exciting week, of course, for us. So don't be a stranger. Remember, your facilitators are only an email or a text away. And we're here for you. Take care.
Thank you. It was great.
Okay, we're down to 23.
Scott, what time are you going to do your thing tomorrow?
6 to 8.
Okay.
I think I'll do mine on Friday. I'll probably just do like an hour of just, you know, how to like put the lighting right.
Hey Mario, if you make it, we can go in and edit, and I can put my calendar link, right?
If I make the
announcement.
Yeah. So all I tend to do is, because I try to avoid the Zoom stuff that we had going on tonight. I create my link right before, send it out, post it in the email, send it in an email, post it in announcements, and I tend to have less trouble doing it that way.
Okay.
So Mario, before you send out, we'll send to you our.
Well, he's going to do his Tuesday, so that's
Mario. Just make a skeleton announcement with the times, and then I'll go in and edit it and put my link, and you guys later on can do your.
Okay.
Some of the participants just needed to know the time so they could put on.
So they can plan. So hold on, let me write the times down again. So Tuesday, Scott is Tuesday?
Yeah, 6 to 8 p.m.
6 to 8 by appointment. One-on-one slots.
One-on-one. Yep.
And then I'm gonna do Wednesday, and I'm doing 6 to 8, and I'm gonna do just like I'm gonna demo a workshop for the first 15, 20 minutes on just how to do it, and then I'll let people run wild. That's more my style. And Thursday, Claudia, was that you?
6 to 8, one-on-ones like Scott.
Okay. And Friday, do you have a time?
Yeah, let me just make sure. Hold on.
5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m.?
Totally. Actually, that's how early I've been getting up, like at 4:30 or 5, just so I can like get up before the baby gets up.
Oh, I didn't know if you were pointing at your husband.
Oh, yes. No, I knew it was the baby.
It's the only time I can do work. So let's see, Friday. Why is this so weird? Okay, I'm gonna do 10 to 11. I'm gonna do coffee and video talk.
Okay.
Plus closed captions.
So coffee and video talk.
Coffee, video, closed captions.
Nice. So we still have a couple of our fellow travelers here, Rosita and Mark, and a guest in the 707 area code. Is there anything on your mind? Something you'd like to talk with us about?
I am very happy because I did learn a lot this week. I also do know that I did not turn in my work the way it should, the way it could be. Now I am looking back at it and I said, oh, I shouldn't have done that. There is one thing that I could not do no matter how I tried to add the click button at the bottom of my page. I just couldn't do that. I couldn't, no matter what I did, no matter how I did it, no matter whose instruction I followed, I just couldn't do it. And so I'm going to give it another try this week. Soon, but I'm very excited. I am making it as if it is going to be my class, because I don't even know exactly what time of the week or what information I'm going to get where. So I have a little excess there in my introduction letter, which is already which I think it is too long. So I am going to shorten that one too.
Short.
thank you.
It's not a syllabus.
Yes,
It's just a
it is
welcome
not a
letter.
syllabus, and it is something that I can insert somewhere else, some information there. And but thank you. I am less scared and more excited, I think.
That is
But I'm
wonderful.
But I'm still struggling with some words, and I am learning. Yes, I'm learning. I'm really learning. So I thank you, and thank you all. And Mario, I want to ask you a question, but not right now.
And I'm
about something.
gonna head to the kid. So
Okay.
thanks,
Bye,
you guys.
Ann.
Have a great night. Thanks for everything.
Rosita, if you want to
Thank you.
send me a time you're available, I'm in class tomorrow until after 12. So tomorrow I'm available after 1. If
Oh,
you-
I am available at any time of the day. So you tell me, I will.
Okay.
I work when I want to, and I hike when I want to. And
Okay.
I'm very blessed. I have a husband who is very, very generous.
Okay, so we'll touch base tomorrow after 1 o'clock.
That would be fantastic. I'm missing a just teeny little thing in the video that you have, and I don't know why it is.
Okay.
Bravo.
Nos arreglamos mañana.
Mañana, si Dios lo permite, yo estaré, le enviaré un mensaje.
Ciao, ciao.
Wonderful. Thank you all.
Okay, guys.
And Mario, is there something I need to do about this web captioner? Is there?
You know what? I don't know. I've been playing with it also. I mean,
Okay.
Real quick, team, stop the recording real quick.
Hang on a second.